As I told you, in the today's class, we are going to study about computation of aggregate turnover. How do we calculate an aggregate turnover under GST? To calculate an aggregate turnover, the things which are required, aggregate turnover means the aggregate amount of sales. And on the sales, we are going to pay particularly our GST. The first thing we need to know is the value of taxable supplies. How much is the value of the taxable supplies that we need to know, right? We have to know the amount of the exact amount of the value of the taxable supplies. Then the value of exempted supplies. How much value is there of the supplies which are exempted, right? Exempted supplies. Then value of export of goods and services, right? The total value of the goods which are exported by you, as well as the total value of the goods services which are exported, that value you should take. Similarly, interstate supplies, the supply of the value of the supply between you and between the other states, what we call as the interstate supplies, that value also need to be included. Then supply of goods by registered job worker and after completion of a job. So even these things are also included. When we add these all, the aggregate amount what we get, it is called as aggregate amount of turnover. The amount what we get, it is called as aggregate turnover. Okay, let us see an example here. Shiva Enterprises, operating in one state only, made the following supplies. Okay, there is one enterprise which is named as Shiva Enterprises. They are operating in one state only, and they have made the following supplies. Outward supply of taxable goods, rupees 17 lakh. Outward supply of taxable goods, rupees 2,50,000 under reverse charge. And inward supply of taxable goods, that is 3 lakh. Okay, as per the definition, aggregate supply or aggregate turnover, which is given in section 6 subsection section 2 subsection 6, the value of inward supply on which tax is payable on reverse charge basis is not included in aggregate turnover, but the outward supply under reverse charge are included. Therefore, the aggregate turnover is how much? The outward supply of the taxable goods of rupees 17 lakh plus the outward supply of taxable goods of rupees 2,50,000 under reverse charges. So the aggregate turnover is 90 lakh 50,000. Since the aggregate turnover does not exceed rupees 20 lakh, right? In the last video, I told you according to the state wise, there is a threshold limit, right? So his income is less than 20 lakhs. The company is not liable for registration under section 22 subsection 1 of CGST Act of 2017. But it is important to note that persons who are required to pay under reverse charges are compulsory required to obtain a registration under section 24. Therefore, Shiva Enterprises is still liable for registration because they are going for a reverse charge. But if it is not a reverse charge, they are not liable for registration under GST. Okay, let us see about the second example. The second example, that is Nishi Limited made the outward supply of the goods, many of the types of goods. It includes supply of taxable goods of rupees 5 lakh, exempted goods rupees 8 lakh, and non-taxable goods like alcohol, liquor 1,50,000. The supply also included the supply of goods of rupees 3 lakh from the registered job worker premises. In addition, rupees 2 lakh is the outward supply of goods at which GST has to be paid by the recipient. GST was payable on reverse charge basis, whereas the company has paid tax under reverse charge in respect of inward supply of goods of rupees 1,50,000. Now, the aggregate turnover as per section 2 subsection 6 of CGST Act will be calculated in the following manner. First of all, if you see 5 lakh rupees, right, initially the supply of goods will be taken. Exempted supply of 8 lakh rupees, right, it will be taken. Then the supply of non-taxable goods like alcohol is not taxable under GST, it is taxable under the excise duty. So even we include that as a supply here. Outward supply of goods for registration of job workers, 3 lakh, right, which is there here. Then similarly, outward supply of goods under reverse charge, that is 2 lakh, even that is taken. But inward supply, if you see the sentences here, the inward supply of goods of rupees 1,50,000. So this is not included. Inward supply of goods under reverse charge is not included while calculation of aggregate turnover. So it is not included. Now, when we do the total of this is 19,50,000. Since the aggregate turnover of Nishi Limited does not exceed rupees 20 lakhs, the company is not liable for registration under GST on the basis of threefold limit. But because of inward supply on which the tax is paid by the recipient under reverse charges, Nishi Limited is liable for registration under section 24, but they are not liable for registration under section 2 subsection 6 of CGST Act. Okay, so this is about aggregate turnover and calculation of the persons, whether they are liable for registration or not. Okay, now there are some things we should understand, that which are the supply of goods and which are the supply of services. We will get a problem in examination. We need to classify which are the supply of goods and supply of services. If there is a transfer, whether it is a title in the goods, right in the goods, right in the goods under the agreement, right? If it is a title in the goods, it is supply of goods. Right in the goods, supply of services. Title into the goods under an agreement with the stipulated property shall pass at a future date, supply of goods. Then similarly, if there is land and building, lease, tenancy, etc., supply of services. Lease or letting out building, including commercial, industrial, or residential complex or business, commerce, that is supply of services. Treatment of a process or of a process and applied to another person's goods, job work, what we call it is supply of services. Transfer of business assets, right, where you dispose your business assets, or where you as per the direction carrying on, you are no longer to form a part of those assets, those are supply of goods. Then goods held use for the business are put to private use, made available to any person, those are supply of services. Goods forming a part of assets of a business carried on by a person who ceases to be taxable shall be deemed to be supplied by him in the course of furtherance of his business. Now, these things are also supply of goods. Renting of immovable property, supply of services. Construction of complex building, civil structure, etc., but including a complex sale of a buyer wholly or partly the supply of particularly the supply of services. These things are called as the supply of the services. Next is development, design, programming, customization, adaptation, upgradation. These are also supply of services. Temporary transfer or permitting use of enjoyment of any intellectual property rights, supply of services. Then transfer of right to use any goods of any person, supply of services. Work contract services, these are also supply of services. So these all things are included. You should remember this, which are supply of goods and which are supply of services. If you remember this in examination, what he will do, he will give you a group of list. So you should study that list and you have to analyze which are the supply of goods and which are the supply of services. Okay. Let me take an example here. The example is like this. Manish, a supplier of goods, pays the GST under regular scheme and is not eligible for threefold exemption limit. He has made the following outward tax supplies in the tax spread. Interstate supply of goods is rupees 8 lakh. Interstate supply of goods, intrastate supply of goods is rupees 8 lakh. Interstate supply of goods is rupees 3 lakh. If the given amount are exclusively of tax and the rates of CGST, SGST and IGST are 9% each, SGST and CGST, and 18% respectively is IGST. Compute GST payable by Mr. Manish on outward supply. Okay. Now, first of all, we need to calculate the intrastate supply of goods. The intrastate in Manish case are two types of tax, CGST and SGST. 8 lakh rupees he is selling the goods, right? If his interstate supply is 8 lakh, on 8 lakh 9% is 72,000 is CGST, 72,000 is SGST. While intrastate is over interstate where IGST is applicable, 18% on the interstate supply of goods, that is 3 lakh rupees. So that is 54,000. So the total GST payable is CGST he will pay 72,000, SGST he will pay, that is 72,000, and IGST he is going to pay 54,000. Similarly, let us go for the other kind of problem. Zohra Emporial Mumbai has issued following invoices. So they have told us that they are supplying the goods to the different recipients. Like first is Gupta Fancy Stores Ahmedabad 1,80,000, Rani Emporial Pune, that is 2,50,000, Kamal Enterprises Delhi, that is 3 lakh. Now the Zohra Emporium is situated in Mumbai, and these three recipients are located at the different part of our country. Gupta Fancy Stores is there in Ahmedabad, while Rani is there at Pune, and Kamal Enterprises at Delhi. Okay. Now the tax rate, they have specified that CGST is 9%, SGST is 9%, and IGST is 18%. We need to calculate the tax payable on outward supply of Zohra Emporium if no ITC is available. Okay. So first of all, we'll go with the Gupta Fancy Stores. Gupta Fancy Stores, as we can see, this is interstate, because they are staying in Mumbai, and when you supply the goods from one state to other state, the type of the tax applicable, it is called as interstate. Okay, so Gupta Fancy Stores Ahmedabad, there when it is interstate transactions, their IGST is applicable. So 1,80,000 is the total value of supply, 18% IGST is applicable, interstate it is. So 32,400 in the first case, they have to pay a GST. In Rani Emporium Pune, right? As we can see, the Pune and Mumbai both are situated in the same state, Maharashtra. So Maharashtra GST is applicable. So CGST 9% at 2,50,000, that is 22,500, and SGST 2,50,000 at 9%, that is also 22,500 is applicable in case of the second example. Third recipient, that is Kamal Enterprises Delhi. Okay, now Delhi is also a separate state, or it is a union territory, while Mumbai is separate. So IGST at 18% is applicable, that is 54,000. Okay, now the total amount of tax payable by Zohra Emporium, that is CGST 22,500, SGST 22,500, and IGST what she will be paying at the end of the year, that is 86,400 on the total supply of the goods. Okay, now let us come to the next part, is the GST rate notified for goods and services. The government has classified the different kind of tax for the different reasons. Okay, so the GST rates are initially recorded by GST Council and then notified by the central government and state government. Based on that, the GST rate will be decided. Okay, so the GST Council will have a meeting. They will hold a meeting with all the members, and they will decide a percentage. Then it will be communicated to central government. Thereafter, it will be communicated to the different respective state governments. So the CGST central tax, it is governing act, or it is governed by CGST Act, notified by central government. Maximum GST is 20%. SGST, it is governed by SGST Act. Concerned state government, whichever state government is ruling in that particular state, they will be notifying it. And the maximum rate is 20%. UTGST is Union Territory Tax. UTGST Act, central government at 20%. IGST is integrated tax, and integrated tax is governed, governing act is IGST Act. The notification will be done by the central government. The maximum GST rate is also 40% here. Okay, so the GST rate on supply of goods now. Okay, the government, they have made it different for both intrastate and interstate supply of goods. If you take about intrastate supply, they are classified totally 6 different categories, and whereas in interstate also there are 6 different categories. Intrastate is classified in 2 types. First is CGST, SGST. If you are having registered, or if you are a recipient or supplier in a state. But if you are a recipient or supplier in a union territory where they don't have their own state legislative, like different union territories are there, their UTGST is applicable. Okay, so while we see about the categories, 0.125 for both and 0.25 in the first category, while IGST is 0.25, while the second category is 1.5 for both and 3% is the IGST. Third category 2.5 and 5% is IGST, while fourth category 6% and 12% is IGST. Fifth category 9%, 18% is the IGST, and sixth category 14% both, and IGST is 28%. The exact rate of GSTs are applicable on goods are available on the CVEC website, because from time to time the government is going to change the different rates based on the availability, and based on the various reasons the government are going to change the rates. Now the GST rate on supplies of the services, if you see the 4 category of services, they have divided 2.5%, 2.5% and 5% IGST. Second category is 6% each and 12%. Third category 9% and 18%. And fourth category 14% and 28% of GST applicable on the supply of services. Okay. Okay, now let us see about the example here. Okay, so this is the example. Category of items included in packaging, that is, there are 4 categories, A, B, C, D. Okay, so A is a good, B is a services, C is a good, D is a services. Now rate of GST is applicable is 5%, 12%, 28% and 18%. These are the rate of GST. See, if the value of the package in the goods, right, the package of that value is 8,000, you are required to determine the applicable rate and the total GST payable in each of the following independent cases. In each of the following independent cases, you need to determine the amount of the tax GST payable by a person. Okay, let us see the first case. It is composite supply, and item A is the principal supply, right? Item A is the principal supply. In the first case, when it is a composite supply and item A is the principal supply, the rate of GST is 5%, and on 8,000 we need to pay at 5%, that is 400 rupees, right, in the first case. Okay, let us go with the second case. It is composite supply and item B is the principal or the main supply. So in that case, when it is a composite supply, item B is a services. So even if it is a services, 8,000 into 12%, that is 960 rupees. Let us go with the third case. It is a composite supply and item C is the principal supply. Okay, item C goods are at 28%. So composite supply at 28%, right? 28%. So 8,000 at 28%. So it is 2,240 rupees. Okay, let us go for the fourth. Services at it is a composite supply and item D is principal supply. Okay, fourth, composite supply, item rate of GST is 18%. So 8,000 at 18 is 1,440 rupees. Okay, last, it is a mixed supply. This is not a composite supply. It is a mixed supply. In that case, the amount, if you see here, is mixed supply. The highest rate we need to take. The highest rate is what in these all cases? The highest rate is 28. Okay, if it is a mixed supply, highest 28. So 8,000 in at 28%, that is 2,240 rupees. Okay, so by this way we have to